What up, what up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's see. Is my voice loud enough? It's probably pretty quiet. Oh, turned the wrong one up. Check, check, check. Check, check. Check 1, 2. Yeah, that's really quiet. I don't quite know why. How loud is a guitar? Check, check, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. All right, voice is looking good, sounding good. I don't know who's on stream right now. I'm gonna pull up the YouTube page in just a sec, but yeah, if anybody is here, thank you for hanging out. This is my first guitar stream, so yeah, we are gonna see how it goes. Give me just a second. We're gonna start jamming to this backing track that you see in the top right corner. It's gonna be a good time. Just get on YouTube and find out. I'm gonna pull up the YouTube page. All right, find out how many people are watching here. Probably no one. Oh, it's one person. It's me. It's me. I'm the only person watching. All right. Oh, I forgot a very crucial part of this setup. Getting the Wii back there set up for Melee. I think I'm gonna do that. We're setting up the Wii. So I gotta have some Melee on in the background, or things are gonna get real boring. Let me turn my fan too. That's gonna be nice while I do this. All right. Great. Now we've got some Melee in the background. To my to my left, the right on here because it's mirrored. All right, let's get to the guitar playing. Ugh. I'm thinking the way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna jam along to a backing track for a bit, see if people show up. I'm gonna go live on Instagram too. All right, let's go live. All right. Oh, We want to flip that around. Oh, that's so dark. So dark. All right. Check, check, check. All right, let me make a comment here on Instagram. Playing guitar live on my YouTube stream. Go there for. Hey guys, sorry. I know there's people on here. I'm typing out the pinned comment. I'm typing out the pinned comment. Therefore, to support. How about that? All right, and I'm gonna pin this. How do I pin a comment? Anybody know? Pin comment. There we go. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, everybody who's on Instagram, go over to the YouTube page. Go over to the YouTube page. All right, YouTube stream is going. What up? Somebody's on the YouTube. If anybody's on the YouTube stream, go ahead and drop me a little chat. There should be a chat option on the side of the screen, because I want to see when those chats come through, and also let me know if the audio is bad. In fact, I'm gonna get it so you guys can hear the backing track through the YouTube, and we are gonna make sure that the audio isn't bad. Hey, what's up, Jay? Chat works. That man was stupid. Ooh. I forgot a crucial step. Y'all. We're gonna do this real quick. Alright, Cooper forgot to tune his guitar first, and now we sound out of tune with the backing track, something that I am sure Natalie noticed, if nobody else, because she got perfect pitch. All right, we're going to get tuned up, and then we're going to go back to doing a little jamming for the backing track. I think the way this is going to work is I'll jam for a little while, and if you guys, like, want to ask questions or whatever, like, I can stop that jam and answer questions in chat or whatever, but I'm thinking I'm going to jam for a while, and then I have a video lined up that I want to go through, and I'm going to do a little melodic analysis of one of my favorite guitar players. And we're gonna learn together. We're gonna talk about what notes that guitarist likes to target in a solo over what chords, and we're gonna figure out why it all works and hopefully become better guitar players in the process. All right. I'm a little flat. I'm a stickler for tuning. In the words of Dr. James, who was Dr. Douglas James, who was the classical guitar professor at App State. He retired, but he always used to say, "We tune because we care," and I always thought that was really beautiful. Because being in tune seems like this very like high-minded, like very academic sort of thing, and it's almost like I don't want to tune. I'm not a nerd, but you know, it's the single biggest thing you can do or not do to make your guitar playing sound awful. So if you care, you tune. And in the words of my old classical guitar professor, Dr. James, we tune because we care. All right. If you're on Instagram, again, hop on over to the YouTube. I got a full stream going on YouTube. It's going well. We're jamming along to some backing tracks. All right, and let's keep going with it. Oh. God, Anthony's watching. That makes me so much more self-conscious to know that like a super good guitar player is watching. I haven't warmed up at all today. These backing tracks never resolve themselves. It's really funny. Like, there'll be like a chord progression in G or whatever like we had, and it'll like do like its normal G chord progression stuff. And the backing track will end there. It does not give you a note to land on. This YouTube channel, Elevated Backing Tracks, okay, wait, we're not gonna listen to him solo. Is awesome, but that's like the one issue they have is that they always leave you hanging at the end. The last chord is always like a 4 chord or a 5 chord, something that does not feel very resolved. And there's also like no, I mean, other than the timer on the video, there's no warning that the video is gonna end. So you're kind of like, oh, I hope I land on a good note to end this video, because I know damn well that they're not gonna land on the ending chord. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little jam. Seems that's taken up like 20 minutes. All right, so let's talk about, I'm going to do just a little playing on my own. Let's go. Clyde's here. 5 people are watching. You guys are the best. I love y'all so much. So I've never had more than like 3 people on the stream at once. So this is really, really special for me. 5 is a good number. I'm thinking, you know, I was going to start doing like giveaways to get people on the stream, but I'm thinking might save those and like little things, right? Like I don't have money, but I'm thinking about saying like once we get 10 viewers at a pretty consistent level, I'll start saying like, hey, let me just like pick a name out of a hat each week, and I'll buy you like a pack of guitar strings or something, like some small giveaways, some little incentive. But yeah, so let's start talking about some theory, some warm-up stuff. So fuck yeah. Oh, somebody dropped. That's okay. That is a-okay. So today I haven't warmed up at all, but what I like to start with is a little bit of the Instagram videos. Again, I have to go to the other side. What I like to start with is a little 3 notes per string with a metronome. And I'm going to mute the metronome on y'all's end so that you guys don't have to hear the click, 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 but you can still see it in Google, hopefully. Yeah. All right, cool. So what I like to do is I like to start at 80 and do this 3 notes per string pattern. That I just love. So you start at on the first pattern of the 3 notes per string sort of thing, of the major scale, obviously. And we can turn the guitar down a little bit now because it doesn't need to be that loud anymore. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, we got a really heavy tone going. We got a bit of a metal tone going on. But yeah, so we're we're gonna go through some 3 notes per string stuff. I like to do this little pattern, right? So you do the first, and then once you get to the end of that 3 notes per string pattern, you slide up to the second position. And then once you get down from the second position, you go to the third position and go all the way up. And you follow that pattern, right? Once you get up to the third position, you slide up to the fourth position and go down. So I'm going to do that a couple times. It's not going to be the most interesting thing of all time. Wow. Okay, cool. It looks like it's just me and Natalie now. I don't even know if it's Natalie. It could be somebody else, maybe Jonathan. But anyway, it's just me and one other person, which is all good. But yeah, I'm gonna do a tiny bit of just warm up. So feel free to just like sit back, relax. If you're a guitar player, you know, you can kind of like watch this and see about if you want to incorporate this sort of thing into your warm up. But this will just take like, I don't know, 3-5 minutes. Nothing crazy. Yeah. You guys can hear the click a little bit maybe. But it's all coming through this mic. Oh, hi Nat. Is this mic clipping? Every once in a while, if I get too close. Alright, cool. We are gonna... Alright, we're gonna do our little one. And then I'll do that at 90 BPM, so I'll bump it by 10. And I try to get up to just 100, nothing crazy, just to get the fingers warmed up. So. I screwed that up. Let's start in the 6th position here. Great. And so now I'm going to bump it up to 100, and that'll be it for our 3 notes per string workout. Nothing crazy. Yeah, a little bit of warm up. Let's go. So now we're gonna I'm gonna play around with a little bit of 3 note per string pentatonic stuff. I wonder who that other viewer is. It's kind of funny because with like generally lower viewership numbers, I'm also gonna try this. Oh, that's much better. Okay, cool. With generally like with lower viewer numbers, I'm gonna want to like curate the content to whoever I'm talking to. So I know I'm talking to Nat and one other person. But yeah, so if you want to let me know who you are, I can kind of curate what we're doing to whatever you want to do guitar wise. But yeah, and so I just played the 3 notes per string kind of diatonic scale all the way up and all the way down. Well, kind of all the way up, but in my own little special pattern that I do. But now let's talk about the pentatonic scale. So what I like to do for the pentatonic scale is take these 3 note per string patterns and take that as one whole position and simply take out the 4 and the 7 of the scale anywhere they exist and get the pentatonic scale from that position. So what that kind of looks like from here. And then in the second position, ooh, this is gonna be tough because I haven't done this in a long time. Yeah. That's it. Oh gosh, yeah, this is something I'm not prepared to do on stream right now. It's kind of funny because you know, I'm thinking I'll just get on stream and I'll play some guitar, and then it's like so nerve-wracking having people just watch what you do. Anyway, I'm gonna actually just take the pentatonic scale in a different direction. So the other way I like to think about it is you start from the minor pentatonic scale shape. Everybody should be, you know, if you're a guitar player, you should be very comfortable with that shape. And this kind of fits over the 6th position of the 3 notes per string. Hopefully you see how those two things fit together. But yeah, and so once you've got the pentatonic scale on the thank you, Natalie. I just be getting texts from Nat and shit. You can, so if we're on the 12th fret, I like to go down from there, so from the 6th position to the 5th position, so I'll just work my way up. Yeah, that's the pentatonic scale all the way up. Let's go the other way now. So this time, so there's a bunch of different ways you can think about practice, right? You can think about, if you've got a scale, you can think about it doing it the lowest note to the highest note. And additionally, you can think about, if you want to practice multiple positions, you can take this position and move it up to practice, or move it down. And so what we did that time was we went up the scale, but we moved down. So now let's do the opposite. Now let's move up the scale, but move down in note. So like we start on the highest note of each position and go down to the lowest note, and we move up the position. So we're going to take this a little slower. Maybe I'll put a metronome on it at some point if I get comfortable with it. This first position uses the open strings, the 0th fret, which is like a little awkward, but you know, that's why we practice, to make the awkward stuff not so awkward. So let's try that. So it's going to be something like... right, so once I get down to this lowest note, I've got to start at the highest note of the next string. Or maybe I'll go down and then all the way up, so I'm at least in the right spot. Yeah, and so then you go to the 2nd position. Oh. Cooper bad. Yeah, so you can tell this is something I need to practice, because I am clearly not as good with this. So I'm going to throw on a metronome that, again, you guys won't be able to hear. You might be able to hear it faintly. But I'm going to throw on a metronome of, like, I don't know, something easy. Like 70? How fast is 70? Yeah, so having the metronome there is just to keep me honest. I'm going to do it at 75, because 70 is a tiny bit boring. I say that now, and now I'm going to get the notes wrong because it's a little faster. But yeah, we're going to see how this goes. I've never done this exercise before, full disclosure. So we're just going to try it and see how it goes. Yeah, can we do it double speed from that? No, that'd be way too fast. So let's do it in single time speed, but let's bump the click to 85. Yeah, I always get that note wrong. So on the 4th position of the pentatonic scale, it's a little tough. I don't know. I somehow get this last note, this minor 3rd that it is. I think it's a major 2nd, but it's not. It's minor 3rd. And then 5th position. All right, and let's try that again, just one more time, so you know nothing gets too boring. But let's try it like at a bit of a speedy tempo, 100 BPM. Let's try it at back at like 70, but do it double time. All right, this one's gonna be fun. So I've clearly set the metronome a little too fast. So let's do it double time, but at 60. It's funny because you guys are just like on my guitar practicing journey with me. I promise the whole thing isn't going to be practice. I haven't warmed up today. This is my first guitar stream, so I'm still trying to figure out how it's all going to go. So, you know, I'll just do a little bit of practice to warm up and get things going. Yeah, so that's that minor third that I always think is a major second. So I'm going to go back and start again, and I'm going to try to really nail that fourth position of the pentatonic and really let myself know that it's a minor third up here. Also, I see we have somebody on the Instagram live. That's cool. That's cool. Hop on over to the YouTube if you want to see a little bit more, see the screens I got going on, see a couple more angles. What's up, Eli? Thanks for getting on. I'm just doing a little bit of warm up, a little bit of practice right now, but in a sec we're gonna do a little more jamming, and then I'm gonna pull up a video and we're gonna do some melodic analysis and try to learn some stuff about one of my favorite guitar players. All right, so pentatonic warm up. So it's there we go. Here's that fourth position. See, I always screw it up. Let's play around with the fourth position just for a sec. I always really like the fourth position of the minor pentatonic. Yo, what's up? Whoever's on Instagram, pop on over to the YouTube. So yeah, I really like the fourth position of the minor pentatonic. I know we're getting a little off track here, but it's the only one with kind of this D shape. I love that D shape on these top three strings, right? It's the D chord shape, right? It's the same shape as and all those notes exist in the pentatonic scale of the key. And there's a lot of fun things you can do with that. Because it's a triad, it's a major triad, you can sweep up it, and you can sweep up it on kind of any chord, knowing that it's going to sound fine because every note of that major chord is in the pentatonic scale. I think that's actually... Yeah, so this triad up here that we have on the fourth position of the minor pentatonic, this like D-shaped triad, is actually just the one chord of the key. So it's the fifth, root, and third, and then you got a root down here. And you could even go third, fifth, root, third. I love that one because that exists totally in the fourth position of the minor pentatonic, right? Because you've got... I love doing that little sweep, and it's something I shouldn't use as a crutch too much. What's up, Finn? I think who we have on the Instagram live. I could be wrong, but hop on over to the YouTube to see some better angles, to see the real streamer stuff, to see more of the melee going on behind my left shoulder here. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna finish that pentatonic warm up. It kind of feels silly to be warming up on stream. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could do technique-wise to just like keep things a little interesting before we go back to some jammage for a bit. We can talk about a little bit of the stuff I do while I'm jamming, right? And so there's a few things that I really go back to all the time, and I really shouldn't, right? So I'm talking about these things as if they're good things to do, but they might not be. They might be bad habits of mine, but if you just want, you know, information about how to sound not bad on guitar, I got you there, because these certainly don't sound bad, even though they might not be good. So I always start a jam, like, not always, but it's pretty common for me to start with that, the minor pentatonic shape, that first position of it. just because I'm very comfortable with that scale string. So I can start doing some licks there, right? All of those are going to sound great. And then from there, there's some stuff I like to do. So, you know, hopefully this is where the close cam I've got in the bottom right of the stream comes into play, because hopefully you can see that stuff really well. And so what I like to do once I get up here sometimes is these. So all of these, if you take the last two strings of the minor pentatonic shape and take them on the 15th fret here, so like kind of the, you know, these two notes. If you go just up 2 whole steps from each of those strings, those are all in the key. So you've got a little parallel 3 notes per string shape. So a lot of the time when once I get to that note on the B string, right, I know you can't really tell which string I'm on, but it's on the B string. G, B, and I just like to jam on these 6 notes. And it's important to note that not all of these notes are in the pentatonic scale. So really what I should do, instead of doing a whole step here and then another whole step, because that note's not in the pentatonic scale, so we should do a minor third after it. So maybe should we... But we have notes repeating there. But anyway, case closed, you know, point made that once you go up, once you get to the top of the minor pentatonic shape, you have this like really, really nice parallel 3 notes per string pattern that's like super easy to wrap your head around to go shred on up from there. And you can also do this kind of minor triad with it on like with these first 2 notes on the high E string, and then you hit that middle fret on the B string. You get this minor triad that's really nice. That's another thing I like to do. So let's talk about that a little bit too. So this is a thing I do constantly. It's when I hit a bend, the moment bends made sense to me. I had a eureka moment with bending strings on the guitar. And it was when I realized you don't just bend a note, right? You bend into another note. So that note isn't just this bent up, it's that going to that note, right? So you're going to an entirely separate note. And once you realize that you're going to different notes with bends, you can build melodies out of them. So anyway, let's actually stay up here where I was just talking about. Once you get to the top of your minor pentatonic shape and you go up to this nice parallel 3 notes per string pattern. For what it's worth, if you go up one more position from here, you also get another parallel pattern. So you get like first finger, third finger, fourth finger. And if you go up another position actually from there, you get another parallel pattern that's really easy to remember because it's the same on both strings. In terms of your fingers, it's 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. So if you're ever on these top 2 strings and you're doing this minor pentatonic thing, you have a ton of parallel shapes further up that you can just kind of memorize, because on the B and the E string, it's the exact same frets, right? So you remember one set of frets and you get double the notes out of it because the frets are the same on the B and the E string for that key, right? So like in this case, in the key of E minor or G major, it would be like 15, 17, 19. And then 17, 19, 20, and then 19, 20, 22 on both strings, right? So you get double the notes. But anyway, so once you get up to this kind of note here on either string, kind of that 15th fret note in this key specifically, but essentially just one position up from your minor pentatonic shape. You take your minor pentatonic shape and go one position up. What I love to do with these 15th fret notes, what you can do, notice that above these 15th fret notes, you have a half or a whole step and then a half step, right? So what you can do is you can bend to that whole step and then push it a little further just for that half step, and I think it sounds so sauce. And I love to resolve that with like a little bend down and resolve it to the kind of like B string note of the minor pentatonic shape. God, I'm saying the word pentatonic a lot. You guys know what I mean. And you can also do that with the E string, right? Because these are parallel patterns. So the E string on the 15th fret in this key also has a whole step and then a half step above it. So you can bend to that whole step note. Oh yeah, and you got to get your bends in tune. You got to make sure you've got an ear for it. But you can bend to that whole step note, and then push it a little extra far to get to that note, the half step after it. And this is a great ear exercise for tuning. Well, not for tuning, just for pitch recognition. You know, general ear goodness and ear accuracy. It's really nice to be able to take a note, go all on the same fret, so just from bend. So you've got to really use your ear to get right on the head of the note, because you bend a little too far and it's too sharp. You bend a little, you bend not enough and it's too flat, right? So, and once you can do this, once you can kind of hit 3 different notes with 1 fret on a bend, you can kind of start making melodies out of it. And, you know, and that sounds kind of like garbage because I'm a little out of tune. But in a backing track, or in a soloing context, it sounds really good. Out of key as hell. But anyway, anywho, bends are great. What else was I going to talk about? If you're looking to get out of this minor pentatonic box otherwise, right, I think it's just me and Nat. I wonder if it is Nat, or if it's somebody else. Whatever. I'm just going to keep going with this stream as if there's 100 people on here, because that's how I got to practice. That's how I got to practice up. So, I probably shouldn't, like, itch my balls. But I think it's only Natalie watching. Oh, wait, we've got one more person. But anyway, so, you know, let's go down from the minor pentatonic shape. Let's talk about what you can do down from there. And so going to this fifth position of the minor pentatonic. It's a pretty easy position. It's really, you know, it's just whole steps on the bottom, minor thirds in the middle, and then whole steps on the top. So it's like a very consistent shape. I guess it's symmetrical. That's the word I've been looking for. It's a really symmetrical shape, and so it's a nice shape to be able to go down from your sixth position or your first position. So it's nice to know that if you're ever on the D or G string here on your first position of the minor pentatonic, if you're ever on that D or G, you can slide down that minor third and you're immediately in the next position down, which is wonderful. And it's a really nice melody too, right? So that's on the D string, but you could also... And what this slide is, it's important to know, this slide has a lot of, you know, what we call tonic quality to it, because what this slide is, from the sixth position to the fifth position, is it's your root of the major key, so like G down to E, so your root of the minor key, right? So you're going from the first degree to the sixth degree of this scale, and both of those serve kind of as one chords. There's like the happy one chord. Oh wait, and then there's the kind of sad one chord, and doing that melody. From, you know, kind of that 12th fret down the minor third in this key, you know, hits both of those notes, so it kind of has that very tonic-y quality to it. Anyway, so now let's, let me talk about one melody I like in the context of what we just talked about. I love doing this. So this goes out of the pentatonic scale a tiny bit, but what you do is, once you're on kind of the G string here of your minor pentatonic shape, kind of that lower note on the G string, so this is the 1 of your key. I love sliding down to the 7 of your key, right, the leading tone. And then grabbing the D string here, right on that 12th fret you were just on. And then sliding it down the full minor third to hit the next pentatonic note down. So you go slightly out of the pentatonic scale with that note, and then back in. It sounds really great. You can even resolve it there. If you want to resolve it major, you can resolve it to the, like, A string of that same position that you're in, that 5th position, right? Because you go from the 6th position down to the leading tone, down to the 5th position, and you can resolve it there. Or you can resolve it a minor 3rd down from that for like the sad tonic, the sad home chord. So it could be that was all bad, but you guys get the idea. Yo, what's up, Jay? I really appreciate you watching, Jay. I know you're not really a guitar player. Hey, if you want to be, I teach lessons. But I really appreciate the support regardless. I hope you're enjoying the melee going on behind me. Oh, bye-bye, Jigglypuff. But yeah, so let's talk about one more thing. I promise. Last theory thing, and then I get back into some jamming. So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've been thinking about soloing, and when I'm soloing, not using the notes in the key. That sounds weird, but not really how I should phrase it. Is not just using the notes in the key, but using being able to differentiate between the notes that are just in the key, the notes that are just in the pentatonic scale, and then the notes that are just in the chord that is currently being played, right? And so what this requires you to do is be able to switch positions on the fly. Because, you go from one chord and you have a certain set of arpeggios that you can do, and then you go to another chord in the progression, maybe half a measure or a measure later, and you've got to switch what you're doing because you're trying to solo, not using the key, because if you just use the key, you can just stay in key the whole time. But if you're trying to actually use the notes that are in the current chord, you've got to switch positions. And so something I've been doing recently is trying to find every chord in a key in one position on the neck, right? So maybe I start... We'll switch keys. We'll switch to, I don't know. Do you guys like B major? We're going to switch to a slightly cleaner tone for this sort of thing, because I think it comes across a little better. That's not very good. What about this? Yeah. Hopefully you guys can still hear the guitar. All right, cool. And so the shape, the bar chord shape I'm most familiar with, and the bar chord shape everybody is kind of most familiar with, is this E bar chord shape. And so I'm picking this as my 1 chord. So I'm saying if this is my 1 chord, I can solo using those notes. And so what if what if that were to go to the 2 chord? Well, that's pretty easy. I'm going to shift up just 2 frets, play a minor chord, and that's the 2 chord, right? So if we have a chord progression that goes from the 1 and then 2, right? And I've got that on a lock. What about the 3 chord? Well, the 3 chord exists right here. So there's a little bit of shifting around, right? You're shifting from, we're in the key of B, so we're starting on the 7th fret. So we're shifting from that B major up 2 frets to get C sharp minor, and then D sharp major, or D sharp minor, sorry, D sharp minor is our 3 chord. And so what that is, if you started on the 7th fret, you go to the 6th fret on the A string. All right, so 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord. Oh. But anyway, you can see how I can use all those chords to solo using, and you kind of hear those chord changes happen, and it's all in the same position, right? So I'm not moving my hand too much. I'm not, and what's important about that is I'm not using the same position for every chord. So what I could do, well, actually, let's keep going, right? So I've got the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3 chord. 4 chords are really easy. You just go to the same fret that your 1 chord was on, but on the A string, and make it major. 4 chord. 5 chord is easy. You shift up 2 frets, also major. You can also do this one as a dominant 7th. So that's your 5 chord. Actually, we're going to do the 5 chord the hard way. So if your 4 chord is your A-shaped bar chord right here on the A string, let's do the 5 chord as the C shape, but playing on that same fret. Right, and so you've got your 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. That dominant 7th note. So that's our 5 chord. 6th chord's easy. 6th chord, what you do is you, on the fret behind the one you started on, so in our case, the 6th fret, it's just the D minor shape. Right, 1 chord, 6th chord. And all that leaves is the 7 chord, right? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 7's kind of fun. It's kind of wacky. What you want to do is, it's just so weird. So you start on the fret behind the one that you were originally on, right, for your 1 chord. You start on the fret behind that, and you do a tritone over that root on the E string. And so what that's going to be is on the A string of the 7th fret here. And you do a tritone above that. And then you bar this finger so that your next string, the G, is back on this fret, right? So in our case, 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, back to 6th fret for that next string. And then what I do is I throw my pinky 1 fret up from my 3rd finger, but on the B string. So you skip a string. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Oh, yeah, sorry. On the same fret is your other finger. So pinky on the B string of this same fret. And that's how you get your diminished chord, right? Your diminished, your 7th scale degree chord. And so, you know, all of those together, we have our full scale of chords all in this one position, right? We've got our 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, and 7th chord. 7 chord, back to 1. And you know, if you get really into that sort of thing, you can even try to do all those as 7th chords. I'm really not good at those, but you know, if we wanted to really try to do all those as 7th chords, we could do our 1 major 7. So 1 chord, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7. Oh, that's it. 4 major 7. 5 dominant 7th, which I actually think is going to be... Oh, yeah, we're going to have to switch the position a little bit. That's what the dominant 7th looks like. So really that arpeggio is... Cool. Just getting myself familiar with that shape, right? So 5, 7 chord. We could do our minor 7 on the 6th here by I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun shape. And then I don't really want to do the 7 chord, like the 7 chord of the key as a 7th chord, because it's just gross. It's a gross, because we could either do it as a half diminished 7th chord, which is how it should be, or a fully diminished 7th chord. But really what you would do there is you would just lift up your ring finger, yeah. And that's the 7 note. So this is a half diminished 7th chord. A diminished chord with a minor 7 on top. You could do it fully diminished, but that is way tougher. It's like that. The fully diminished 7th chord is like a gross and super cool chord. For just the reason that there's only 3 of them that exist. You know, I know I'm probably just talking to Natalie and she's heard me talk about this like a billion times, but I'm subjecting her to it again. It might be Jonathan though. And what's cool about the fully diminished 7th chord? How are we gonna voice this? Well, whatever. The point is, if you go up a fret, that's a different one, and if you go up a fret, that's a different one. But if you go up 1 more fret, you've just got an inversion of the first one you did. Yo, what's up? I don't know who's on Instagram Live, but good to have you. Hop on over to the YouTube for some more guitaring action and some different camera angles. So what are we doing here now? Oh, right. So essentially what I'm saying is, say you've got a chord progression that's a 1 chord, 4 chord, 6 chord, 5 chord. You know, the way you might solo over that, you can visualize these shapes and stay in the same hand position sometimes. So if we've got the 1 chord, and then I might, for the 4 chord, So like, and then 5 chord. Might hit that dominant 7th note, right? So it could be like. Yeah, it was going so well until then. And then back to the 1. Oh, I forgot the 6th chord in there, but you get the idea. And so that's a really cool thing to be able to do, to find every chord in a key all in that same kind of position. So you don't have to move your hand around too much when trying to solo with the chord tones. You can just visualize these shapes. And then obviously the... Alright, cool. So that's the last theory thing for right now. Let's do one more jam video. And we'll pick a different key. We will pick a different key. Oh, a video called "Was Smash Bros. Brawl the Best?" There's an argument for that. There's an argument for that. All right, what key do we want to do? We did G major last time. Let's do D minor this time. Yeah, I like D minor. D minor. It's always good to know. Oh gosh, get out of here. I don't want the ad. I don't want the ad. All right. Oh, jeez. What's good to know about any key that you're in is to know the relative major and minor, right? So if we're in D minor, that's just F major, right? D minor. And so what you do to get your relative major from knowing the minor chord is you just go up a minor third, D to E, that's a whole step, and then E to F, that's a half step. There's your minor third, D to F. And so yeah, so we're in F major, so we can play the F major. Oh wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Or we can play D minor, pentatonic. And yeah, both of those are going to work, right? And so we can kind of shift between those as we go. The other thing I was going to mention, well, never mind. I'm just talking to myself. I might as well just jam. All right, let's hear this. What's up, Noah? What's up, Noah? I'm playing some guitar on YouTube. Go hop over to the YouTube if you want to hear the actual backing track through like actual good audio. Just jamming a little bit, so don't feel pressured to stay for too long or anything. But yeah, it's a good time. Come click the link in my bio. That one actually resolved. They normally never resolve. No ads. All right, let's pick one more key. Do we want C minor or B minor? We were in D minor last time. And we were in B major for all the other stuff that we did. So let's be... Oh, man. It's tough to pick. I like C minor. Let's be in C minor. Oh, we got no volume. That would be the issue. Oh, this feels like it's not gonna be good. Oh. I gotta get to a better tip for this. I lost my key. I lost my key totally. Crystal was here for a second. That's nice. That's real nice. Not here anymore. Probably because I didn't notice her enough. That Krista be liking that tension. That tension. Why do I look so white now? I feel like I didn't look that white before. When I lean in, I look like a ghost. Let's do this. It's just me.
For the line crew and the go-getters, there's Grainger. Supplies and solutions for every industry, plus 24/7 support and over 250 local branches. Call, click.
There's a timestamp.
Chord progression, the C, E minor, A minor, G, F. I'm just going to solo over it using
C, E minor, A minor, G, F. Can I make this not 240p? Well, there's got to be a better version of that lesson. Okay, yes, this is the one, I think.
Break them out when you need to. But that's what the metronome is for, and that's what repeating. Now I'm going to take that chord progression, the C, E minor, A minor, G, F.
C, E minor, A minor, G, F. So we got one chord, 3 chord, 3 chord, 6 chord. So we've got 1, 3, 6. All right. We're gonna get a new Safari window going here. And I'm gonna make my font really big so that you can see it. So we've got C, E minor, A minor, G, and F. That's quite a set of chords. Oh. So what we have here is 1 chord, 3 chord, and then we need this to be lowercase. I got caps lock on. 1 chord, the 3 chord, the 6 chord, we got the 1 chord, the 3 chord, the 6 chord, the 5 chord here, and the 4 chord. Great. All right, so we've got our chords here that Marty Friedman's going to solo over, which is great. And now we're going to watch him solo and see kind of what notes he chooses to target. There's somebody on the Instagram live. What up, whoever's on the Instagram live? I'm on YouTube streaming, and this next section of the stream is not going to make any sense unless you're on the YouTube. We're going to be watching one of my favorite guitar players play for a little bit, and talking about how he solos, how how he controls a melody, kind of like what notes in the chord he chooses to target when he chooses to play out of key, when he chooses to go pentatonic versus diatonic versus just arpeggios. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna learn a lot. So we're gonna try to just kind of listen to this solo, and as we listen to it, we're gonna I'm gonna like essentially learn these licks. So I'm gonna learn these licks, and then we're gonna talk about what's going on.
And I'm just going to solo over it using some variations, breaking into some of those arpeggios like I was doing before, but basically sticking to the theme and the melodic content of it and soloing around it and improvising.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is first time around, I'm going to have the chord progression playing along, first 2 times around or so, and then I'm going to stop the chord progression and I'm going to keep soloing. And you should hear the chord progression through what I'm playing because I'm so much consciously following that chord progression with the notes I choose. 2, 3, 4.
Oh man, so already out of the gate we have some crazy stuff going on here. We got some crazy stuff. So let's talk about this lick. So this is over C.
So much consciously following that chord progression with the notes I choose. 2, 3, 4.
So what do we have here? So we've got G, A, and F sharp. So, gosh, that is a crazy set of notes to be working with. So over this one chord here, and I'm gonna make my font smaller here. And actually, let's do it this way. Here's kind of how I want to do it. We're gonna separate these all into their own distinct columns. Make sure the F has enough space to have its own column. Yeah, so that's the furthest out I can have that. E minor needs a little less space. G needs a little more space. Okay, great. And then I'm going to get rid of the commas here too. And we're going to talk about, or we're going to write down what notes he's playing over each of these 5 chords, right? And so first and foremost, we've got this C chord that he chooses to play. G, A, and F sharp. And what else? There's a note he slides up to. G, A, F sharp, and E. So let's write that down. So the first time around, we got, let's make this font even smaller. G, A, F sharp, and E. Whoop. Sorry, Instagram. Phone fell over. So let's make this even smaller because that is taking up too much room. Okay, well that's too small. Alright, we've got G, A, F sharp, and E here for the first one, and then let's make this whole page like twice as big. Right. Alright, cool. Alright, so I don't really want to do any analysis until, let's go through one entire progression of each chord, and then we'll do some analysis. So he does a crazy bend. What is that bend? So he goes down from an E to a D.
3, 4.
Is he bending with his first finger? Gosh, that is a crazy bend to do. I honestly don't. I just don't understand. Yeah. It almost seems like his guitar is tuned differently. Maybe he's still on the E string. So what he does here is he goes from C or E down to D, right? Down to D, and then I think he bends from like a D up to an E, and he hits kind of that D sharp in the middle, which is a non-chord tone and a non-key tone. So it's a little chromatic,
3, 4.
yeah, D sharp up to E, which is crazy. So D sharp, E, and so this is all just on the one first chord. So we got to make this font smaller. Okay, hopefully you guys can still read that. I know it's tiny. Let's make this page even bigger. Can we make this like 250? 250. It maxes out at 200. Alright, I can make the screen bigger. Okay. So we've got our C, our one chord. And yeah, this bottom set of notes is the, oh man, I lost two viewers. Damn, that sucks. Hey, there's somebody on the Instagram. That's sick. Anyway. So E, G, A. And then A is where he lands on the next chord. E, G, A. So I'm going to put A in parentheses here. I'm kind of going to put the notes that start each chord in parentheses, so we can kind of visualize what's going on. G, E. Back to G and E. So what we might learn here, there's a good chance what we learn here is that he uses a lot of the same notes, and it's all about phrasing. I'm kind of starting to get the feeling that that's what's going on here. So let's go back. It might be more useful. It might be more useful to just talk about the characteristic notes of each one. Okay, we're gonna reformat this Word document because this thing is a mess. We're gonna make this just 100%. All right, we gotta reformat how this is all working. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that because that's our melody. Yeah, because we have so much more lateral space than we do horizontal space. I should have realized that a long time ago. All right. So over our C chord, we've got, and these can all be much larger now. These can be like, all right, then what we can do is yeah, all right, cool. All right, so A, G, E, A G, if I remember correctly. A G E A G. So he also uses. All right. E, G, so it goes from G to E, and it's really, that E is really just a passing tone, to D, and then, back down to B. What is that note? A, B, A. Wow, so it's interesting. So, that's interesting. Hitting the 2 of a chord might be something I experiment with more. So, he lands on the A minor chord. What size is this? 19. Okay, lands on the A minor chord with a B. So the 2. Which is interesting. So let's see what he does after that. BBC. I said BBC. BBC. E. So let's make sure we're still on A minor here. So it just ends on an A minor arpeggio. So that's like interesting because it's interesting because it's not interesting, and Marty Friedman always is interesting. But he ends on this A minor arpeggio, and then D here. Honestly, this font can be 24. Let's change all these to 24. Would Drive let you do the command highlight thing? Let's go. That's huge. I feel like it didn't used to let you do that. Yeah, and I should have commas after these ending chords because just to remind me it goes to the next note. So it ends on B. So then it just goes GBD again. So it's just a G major arpeggio. G, B, B. That's a fun little melody, fun little chromatic melody. So what is that? That's a so it's a G. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. So it's a G, A sharp. Wait, G. Wait, no, F sharp. So what it is it's this chromatic descent from the one of the chord. That's major chord to the dominant seventh. That's so fun. So I'm hearing a little bit of that going on. Let's watch that part again. So they go by pretty fast. Let me just try to watch his hands real quick. Is that what he's playing? Is it just chromatic all the way down? So it's F, E, D sharp, D. And is that where the next chord is? On that D. Yeah, underscores. I'm gonna make this 24 size. Sorry, I got very sidetracked. So D, E kind of bends between. the phrasing that's so important is what it is. Like, I'm finding the notes that he's playing to not be specifically too crazy, but it's all the phrasing. It is the phrasing. So let's go back and see. What is that bend? He does a really quick little bend. This is a crazy shape he's doing. Bent up to D sharp. To F. To F sharp. Nope. D sharp to E to F, right? That makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Let's do a little analysis now. We're gonna do a tiny bit of melodic analysis. Oh boy, a tiger. So let's talk about what these chords are. So we're gonna make this size 24 as well. Oh, Game Over Comics. What's up, Sensei? Is that you? How you doing? I'm just playing some guitar on my YouTube stream, so I just got the Instagram up to push people over to the YouTube in my bio. I'm actually about to get off streaming though. I've been streaming since 4, so but thanks for coming by. Hope everything's going well on your end. Miss playing shows at the comic book shop. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Yeah. So we got the 5th, 5 of the chord. We've got the 6. We've got the flat 5. Flat 5 to the 3rd. Then we've got 2, 2, sharp 2, 3rd of the chord, up 3rd of the chord, 3rd of the chord, and then we end on the 5th. Okay, I don't like these commas in here, because I don't. I gotta have reasons. All right, cool. So 5, 6, flat 5, and C. He really lands on this 3, so let's make that 3 bold. All right. Let's see what's going on here. So with this E minor, we're gonna make this size 24 font too. The whole row size 24. Can't. Okay, cool. That's fine. So we're gonna talk about this. So G to A. It's a great little stepwise transition to the next chord. So what is A to E minor? It's the 4. So it's weird. It's a little weird. So how does this 4 to 3? 4 flat 3. To the root, so 1. Haven't had any roots yet. Maybe we do root as R. I said I didn't like these commas. Which is true, I don't, so we're gonna get rid of them. So 4 flat 3 root, then 4 again. Then O flat 3 again. So there's a little bit of repeating stuff going on here, which is interesting. 4 flat 3 root again. Okay, great. So that's interesting. And 7. There we go. Flat 7. 5. So pretty safe note there. I don't like the comments. Why do I keep doing that? Flat 7, a 5, and then 4 again. So a lot of the 4. So what's going on there? I guess the 3 chord. Lots of use of the 3rd. It's the ability to see all these notes and know what they are that really gets me. Somebody's on the Instagram, but yeah, I'm about to get off. All right, bye. Oh, I forgot to stop it on here. All right. Oh, whoever's on here, I'm leaving. Bye.